Hello, Hillary, and hello, everyone here. I am Coach Brian Piranha, and we're celebrating Hillary's success not once but twice in two different type of circumstances and situations. Hillary's reached out looking for some help and guidance in different parts or seasons of her life. So now a very busy mother of four young kids. I have four myself. Mine are high school and middle school, and hers are a wee bit younger than that. So we'll talk about that. The first time we talked, she had some thyroid issues, so we'll touch on and how we navigate and manage that successfully. And now it's about getting back to herself. She doesn't just want to have like in quotations, mom bod or something. She wants to be herself or herself most importantly, but then for her family and those that she's around all the time in her social circle. So let's take it away, Hillary. Who are you and what do you do and what are you all about?
Right. I'm a mom of four. I have twins that are 5.5 and a 3.5 and almost 1.5 year old. And I
Busy.
work, yeah, very busy. I work a lot with the 5.5 year olds, their school, like a lot for the school. I like exercise and just really hanging out with the family. That's pretty much all I do. But one of my big goals is to be fit
Yeah.
and just be better at lifting and cardiovascular exercises, things like that. So food is really important for that, and figuring out how to fuel my body is very important. So
Yeah, definitely. Well, we want to not only like look good now,
yeah, but in the
like
future,
be
oh,
functional later, right? So your
there's,
kids will always know you as someone who takes care of themselves. It's
yeah,
a great
exactly.
story.
The kids with me when I go to CrossFit, pretty much all of them except for the youngest come with me every single time. So they're always watching mom work out or when I do competitions or just
Yeah.
downstairs because it's not only going to work out. And then now they see me making my meals and they want the same thing as me. So it's been really helpful.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so let's go back to the first time we worked together. That was a couple years ago, even, which is silly to think about. But
The 2019, beginning of 2020,
yeah,
and my twins were like 10 months, almost 11 months old. I had a broken foot that I had to have surgery on. And I was diagnosed with hyperthyroidism. So I became Graves' disease. And I my thyroid removed. I think that happened when we were working together.
we
Uh,
were because you wanted to get ahead of it and not
yeah, because
have
I wanted to have
perpetual weight gain after.
yeah, the medicine that I was trying to take wasn't working and it wasn't bringing any of my levels up or down or just equalizing anything. So I decided to remove my thyroid. And then now I live strictly on levothyroxine. So that,
Yay.
that was something that really, I am very sensitive to medication and I've been called brittle. So sometimes if I take a dose just a little bit higher, I either get too low of TSH or if it's just, it just depends on what's happening. So it could be too high and then I just pop way, way too low. And then I go too low with the medicine and I pop too high. So then it's hard for me to lose weight.
Right, right. That's a big challenge here. And we did really well that first go round
Yeah.
managing the body and losing weight and even more importantly maintaining it for quite after.
Yeah.
And so
All the way
what happened
until,
between go ahead. You got
yeah, I was able to maintain the weight loss until I got pregnant again with my second pregnancy, my third child. And then after that, I was able to drop the weight again too. And I was able to do really well. And I was in the best shape of my life and fitness and just feeling really well before getting pregnant with my last child. And then after that, so between having my third baby and my fourth baby, I started doing CrossFit. And that's when I think I gotten to a point of not understanding how to feel my body because
right.
I was so much extra work. So then I think I started to kind of fall off of what do I eat? How do I fuel this? Am I eating too much? Am I getting enough protein? Are my fats too much? And so I just kind of lost track of what I was doing.
Right. And then that's like Brian, right? You reached out, like, what's up, Hillary? How you doing? And
I
then,
wasn't active. I was being very active. My body changed again and my needs changed. And I'm also taking, we forgot to say this, I'm also taking Litfulo to try to get my hair back. So
Right.
that causes another factor of weight gain.
Right.
And then like I need to reach out to Brian again because this isn't working.
Managing all the challenges, right? Not only just of just a young family, but then the
Yeah.
medicine, the thyroid on top of it. Oftentimes, when people have thyroid issues, they unfortunately give up. Like, I guess I'm
Yeah.
just going to be overweight. I'm going to gain weight because of that.
They
It's not working.
like a sentence, like they're sentenced to just have a thyroid issue and they're just going to be heavy, or they
Right.
can't figure out how to be fit and they don't want to put in the work or they don't know how to put in the work.
Right.
So it's not always just about being, moving around and being athletic or any of that. It's a lot of it is about food.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
100%. So, speaking of food and just like everything here, what were some of the things that you may have tried in the past that after our conversations had gotten you in a different direction?
I have tried intermittent fasting. That's really the main thing that I've done in the past. And um, it worked for a period of time, but then I think my body just gets used to it and my metabolism gets affected. And then when I try to realize, like, oh, I actually do want breakfast because it gives me more energy. Now, some people, intermittent fasting might work.
Right.
For me, my body and all the things that I have going on, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And that's fine. So that's another place where I got stuck right before contacting you. I had been trying intermittent fasting and I was like, this just isn't working. And then it was just, well, like I don't know what to do now. Yeah. So that's really the only thing that I've tried.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it. Really
Yeah.
tried.
Easiest way, me putting my coaching hat on, thinking of any of whatever. It's a big popular
It is.
buzzword, right?
It
And so,
it can just then eat a whole bunch of food at night. It doesn't matter what you're eating. But then if you stop doing it, like it happened with me where it was actually counterproductive for my body. And then I stop it and I'm still continuing on those same methods of like eating a lot at night
right.
that I'm still making up, but forgetting that I am not fasting anymore. And so
Right.
then you just start gaining weight.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's a calorie thing. I always think and tell people change into the term food window, a time
Yeah.
of the day that you're going to eat and a time of the day that you're not. Then it makes it a lot easier. So if you're not eating after say 9 p.m., then it's not an option for you to have food then. It makes it a lot easier. Certainly there's occasional things that might pop in here and there on special
Yeah.
occurrences, but your normal everyday routine would just be you'd be done eating. So there's a lot
And
more guidance,
that,
rules
yeah.
or whatnot there.
Well, and on top of that, dealing with, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so dealing with my kids for the first half of the day without food was
Uh,
very
yes.
difficult. It's
Blood
really
sugar levels, meow, and kids' energy levels.
right.
Yeah, there's a
And you
collision there.
want to taste what you're eating because you want to make sure it tastes. It's just, that's another thing that I struggled with. And working with you, I was still able to realize that I can still have a taste of something here and there and make sure it's good, but not to indulge myself, you know, and like still kind of count those in, but also figure out like it's just a small bite. That's not a big deal. But being mindful about that
Yeah.
was important.
Yeah, definitely. You can't always just finish your kids' plates. Or one thing that you've done well is like your kids eat like you do. So
Yeah.
not like they're having, oftentimes parents
I'm
will give them
supposed to
kid food or something. It's
My kids eat a lot of chicken nuggets and French fries, but I don't have to taste that because it's all very the same thing, you know?
right. Well, even French fries, you can make them yourself with
Yeah,
potato
yeah,
and be healthy and stuff.
yeah.
So, Hillary, what was it that really made our work different for you to connect dots and make body progress and energy
Yeah.
progress?
I think it was just realizing, well, one, realizing the amount of things that I need to put into my body and the percentages of protein, carbohydrates, and fats specifically, and then realizing the difference between a starchy carb and a fibrous carb. And I think when we first started this last time, and probably the first time too, and I'm sure you see this with a lot of your people, that you notice that I didn't eat as many starchy carbs because I was afraid of the reaction that might have to it and I wanted to show results. So I think that's something that's probably common that people do. And
Yeah.
then you back in and it was almost like a depletion diet. Like then I started adding it back in and seeing how my body reacted to it and realizing that, oh, I can eat these things. They just, in moderation. And I remember you saying, like, don't have bread with every meal, because that was something that I had gotten into a habit of
Right.
doing, like bread with eggs, bread as a sandwich, and stuff like that. So it really helped me to kind of open the areas of carbs that I can have, like whether it be rice or bread for one meal, or oatmeal and things like that. Things that were like scary for me were like oatmeal, like, oh, that's so many carbs, but it's really not that many carbs, and it actually fuels your body more and things
Yes.
like that. And so I think important for me this time was just figuring out the good like shift between what I was doing and what I was able to do and put into my body. And just identifying that there's really no bad. I mean, you don't want to have high sugar stuff
Right.
all the time, but in moderation. I mean, that's fine. Birthdays come up when you have a big family. Birthdays come up.
Okay, what weekend are you not celebrating
Yeah,
something?
birthdays, things like that. So you just have to make sure that you are conscious about those moments in time, and you prep for those and you prepare. And whether that day, like we've discussed, like it's okay to fast that day, but again, for me, fasting all the time is not good. So that's something that I learned that was huge
Right.
working with.
Right. Establishing good habits,
Yeah,
behaviors around food, patterns of like meal and food preparation. So there wasn't always just
yeah,
on you or like, oh, what are we eating for dinner? Even like your husband was able to, prepare a fair amount because you were able to guide him and instruct
yeah,
and tell him what your needs were amongst everyone else's.
yeah.
It was,
And also, I think I came up with like a staple food for me. So, like, worst comes to worst, I make a really awesome salad, which had like beans and corn and all the things in it to really meet all of the needs at the end of the day. And then that was nice.
yes.
So, my staple is my salad.
I saw a lot of your meals. Just for anyone watching this, sometimes people send pictures of food. Other times
Yeah.
people are tracking, they're doing combination and whatnot. But Hillary would always, she was tracking and sharing pictures. And so we left no stone unturned.
Yeah.
And a significant amount of engagement every single day, the whole time we worked together to make sure that you got it right. And we've seen some changes. So what were some of the results that you saw even the second time?
Um, well, the second time going into it, I was weightlifting more and doing CrossFit. So I saw a lot of, I guess you could say, I kind of cut. Like I saw a lot of muscle come out, a lot of muscle definition, which is
Definitely.
the first time I hadn't been weightlifting as much. So really what we lost was just like fat and didn't see a lot of muscle because I after the fact. But this time it was nice to kind of feel like I was going through a cut, but also still building muscle at the same time, even in a deficit. So, these are things that you can still accomplish if you're doing it right.
Yes, exactly. Some guidance and our goal is to make sure that not only do we do it right and do it right now, but for the long term. And you
Yeah.
are well educated, well structured, routine. You even traveled while we
Yeah.
are working together. So there isn't too many situations that you're going to come up against that you don't have a solution for yourself to be successful with.
Yeah. Like you said, I traveled. I went on a road trip with my family and I didn't fully track, but I came back and I hadn't gained any weight. So that was, I think
It's a
it was
win.
really that I could still do something like that and not completely track. And we ate out a lot.
Yeah.
So, I was just really mindful about the things that I was eating and the portions. So that was it was helpful to have that available in my mind. And then also I was able to contact you and say, hey, I don't know what's going on.
Right.
Uh, but other things that I've seen from doing this is just like the energy, just having more energy, and my mental status has really,
Yes. Yeah.
so
You need that for keep up with the kids. I know. I literally am there. It's full go, especially at certain times of the day. It's like full mom mode, and or
yeah,
what you got to just give everything and some
all of
to
you.
them, and it's not going to change. So it will
Absolutely.
always be that way.
Yes.
Well, Hillary, if someone were watching this and they were kind of in your shoes, whether it was like the thyroid issue or just like being a mother of a young family or just like super busy, what would you tell them if they're listening in about just any advice or like even reaching out here?
Um, I guess I would just say that if you feel stuck and you feel like you don't know why your body's like this, or you feel like you're never going to get out of this rut, there's always a possibility to do it. You just need to reach out for help, and you can do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it. I've got a lot of things on my plate that weigh me down, and I could have just given up, but I didn't give up because it's so important to me to be there for my children and my husband, just my family as a whole. And if I'm in a gutter, they're all in a gutter. So it's also very important to me that I don't give up on myself, because I want them to be able to see me and be an example.
Yep.
And I just wouldn't be able to live with myself if I knew that my kids ended up feeling depressed and unhealthy because I showed them that way.
Right.
No matter where you are and where you're starting, you still have the ability to pull yourself together and make it work. You just have to really put in the work. And that work that you put in while working with you, it helps in the long run, because now I don't have to weigh my food. I don't have to take pictures and send it or track it. Like I'm still keeping
Just
the
living life.
weight off. Yeah, I'm just living my life, but I'm able to be a little more mindful about the way that I live my life. And that's really what life is. You're always being mindful about the way you treat people and the way you react to situations and things like that. So you just have to remind yourself that you need to be mindful about your own body as well,
Right.
because that reflects on everybody.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
The energy is so important. Make sure that you are present right now and you're able to be excited about what's to come into the future. But really, again, it's about everything that's swirling around in your day to day and into the moment to moment. And taking care
Yeah.
of yourself and just eating healthier food is good. Looks like we may have lost Hillary here. So maybe she'll jump back on. Um, we are wrapping up. That was about the end of our conversation. We'll see if she hops back. Ah, here she is. There she
So,
is.
sorry. I'm
Hi.
so
You're good. You're good.
sorry.
Technology is wonderful and it's something else sometimes too. So
Yeah.
well, I really appreciate you reaching out, trusting me not only once but twice in this journey to help better your health, better your family, your energy, and really just like who you are as a person long term in the next couple decades here. Like you're putting in deposits that are going to pay off big time in the ROI years from now. People will know that you're a healthy, fit person that takes care of themselves, and your kids can have respect for that. And ideally, they'll follow along and take care of themselves because you'll be there to slap their hands if they get out of control or something. Stop that.
Exactly.
Take care of your health. All right. Well, I thank you, and I thank anyone who's watched this. And if you're inspired by Hillary's story or similar situations, please reach out. BrianPrana.com. I've been doing this for 20 years, and just doing remote nutrition health coaching for the last decade. So I have a lot of people, a lot of experiences that I've worked through in a wide variety of different ways, from the obvious weight loss, but all sorts of things, even chronic illness or thyroid issue, right? You had a thyroidectomy in the middle of our first program to make sure that you didn't start gaining weight and stuff. So, Hillary, thank you for being awesome. Thank you for this time today. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for your hard work. And I know that you're going to be wildly successful moving forward too. So,
Thank you.
thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.